You see, the word praise, whatever you praise, you increase. We've said that whatever you criticize, you decrease. Whatever you praise, you increase. Because the power of praise is to increase. Whatever you praise, you increase. Now, in the little paperback book, The Dynamic Laws of Healing, we have a whole chapter about the power of praise and how you can increase good in all phases of your world through words of praise. And in that book, we've talked about the fact that praise can heal the sick pocketbook. A sick pocketbook responds to words of praise. You see, people sometimes neglect to give thanks and to be grateful for so long that things get very bad for them. We have all had hardships because we have neglected the attitude of gratitude. If you have financial problems, it may be because you have been ungrateful and cynical. There is nothing that will empty your pocketbook and your bank account quicker than the cynical, ungrateful state of mind. There is an old proverb, the ungrateful never escape. If you have certain challenges in your life which you have been unable to resolve or to escape, check your words to see if you've been ungrateful. So long as you remain cynical, you will never solve those problems. They will only multiply. But when you cast off bitterness and resentment through declaring words of praise, your bounty increases, your prosperity increases. And we have the story in Dynamic Laws of Healing about the businesswoman that proved that your bounty and your prosperity increases through words of praise. This was a lady who had gotten very critical and very cynical about all of her bills. She had been condemning her ability to pay these bills. She had been criticizing the bills. She had been criticizing the unexpected experiences that had brought on these bills, this additional expense. She had even condemned her usual channels of supply, saying that they were insufficient. And the stronger she got in her critical words, the more her income just seemed to dry up, you see, because her critical words just dissipated her good, just scared away her good. Finally, she learned about the power of the Word, and she learned about the power of words of praise. She began to realize her error. And so she went into a room by herself, and she began to speak forth words of praise. She took her bills that she owed, she put them in her hand, and she praised them. She said, I praise you as the perfect creation of divine bounty now. She went over to the closet where her unpaid clothes were hanging, and instead of criticizing her clothes, she literally laid her hands on those clothes, and she said, I praise these clothes as the perfect creation of divine bounty now. She went around the house, and for different items in her home that for which she owed money, she simply declared that she praised them as the perfect creation of divine bounty now. She did this for about an hour. She took her checkbook and her wallet in her hand, and she praised them as being filled with divine bounty. After about an hour, she got to feeling very prosperous, and she had a feeling that somehow things were going to be all right for her. About an hour later, she received a long-distance telephone call, and it was an offer of special work that she was to do immediately on the weekend. It was work that would not interfere with her usual job. And because it had to be accomplished right away at a special time, it would pay her the equivalent of a month's pay on her regular job. And so with this sudden doubled income, she was a little later able to meet her financial obligations. And so she proved the power of words. She proved that when you get cynical about your financial affairs, they get cynical about you. And she proved that words of praise will pay the bills. Let's declare it. Words of praise will pay the bills. Together. Words of praise will pay the bills. Words of praise prosper me now. Together. Words of praise prosper me now. Good. You see, again, it's a secret teaching from the past, friends. The ancient people felt that it was good to have a secret motto, a secret word, a secret text to hold to in time of trial. And they felt that if you held to a secret text or a secret word in times of trial, that secret text would rearrange your affairs and bring you through to victory. And so it's a marvelous idea to work with. Now, along with speaking forth definite words, and along with our casual conversations, it's interesting to think about how we can use these ideas for other people. Because sometimes people around us are the ones we want to help the most. And perhaps they aren't aware of these ideas or aren't yet ready to accept them. A janitor's wife learned the power of the casual spoken word and of how we can put it to work constructively for people around us. Her husband had been working for the same business firm for 15 years. They had informed him they were paying him a top salary for a man in his field. They would pay him no more, that he need not expect any more raises in pay, and that no other firm would pay him more in the city. Now, he had accepted this statement from them as true, and he was in a state of financial despair. His wife, though, knew the power of words, and so she simply said to him, "Things are going to get better for us financially. Our income will increase." And he only shook his head at this statement because there didn't seem to be any way it could happen. But she said it over and over. Things are going to get better for us financially. Our income will increase.
You can listen to this audio and hundreds of others in the YouAreCreators.tv app. You can even play the audios with the screen off.